Welcome to Psychic Medium Debbie Romero show. Today we have in the house Drew Lucas. Thank you, Drew, for being here.
Thank you, Debbie. Thank you for the invitation. It's an honor and pleasure. Thank you for creating this space, this platform. I truly appreciate it.
Yeah, it's a privilege to have you here. I've had the honor to follow you on TikTok, and I got to watch you inspire and share your story from your own personal journey into holding space as a felicitator. And today we're going to talk about we are in the month of mental health awareness, and we are coming forward into Memorial Day. And so we're going to bridge those two moments together and pause in honor of those who serve, the brothers and the sisters and the families who have lost loved ones and continue to be a service. So this day is to bring awareness, inspiration from your set of eyes and mind, and how you wish to share your story. So Drew, with that being said, introduce yourself.
Yes, my name is Drew Lucas. I am a combat veteran, Marine Corps, 2 deployments. I am a facilitator, a space holder. I've been doing trauma-informed facilitation for over 13 years, just creating spaces for people to share stories, me sharing my own story, just living a life of intention and doing my best to make an impact and be the voice that I needed to hear very long ago.
Yeah. And I love how you say to be the voice I needed a long time ago.
Mhm.
I think that's a very deep statement there when we really pause with that, right?
Mhm. Yeah, I think we all needed to hear our future self at some point
Mm.
to give us some words of encouragement to keep going, to maintain the path of, I would even say the least resistance. I would say the resistance because it shapes us into who we need to be
Yeah,
and how we need to walk in the world.
yeah. I hear you say that. And thank you, one, for being a service, not once, but twice. And you still are a service, and you're holding space now from the title we go into from combat to healing. And you say there's action, and when you're in combat there's action. This
Mhm.
is a different type of action, but I feel when I got to listen to you, the action that you took to go within and to have the discipline, the stamina that you speak of, and how you take charge. Where do you find that adrenaline and inspiration to get up to do that type of discipline, intentional living?
Mhm. Yeah, that's a great question, David. I feel I've never really had to look for it, to be honest with you. It was just this feeling inside that I needed to act. I needed to share my story, like we were talking before, to share my story, not just for myself, but for other people that maybe are a little bit more hesitant to do it. It was just a feeling since the beginning, since I started in 2013. It was just from my heart and my passion and it was almost an aggressive alignment towards healing. It was
Mm-hmm.
almost like I said, aggressive because it was from a place of pain and and rage, but it was towards wanting to find peace.
Right. I think there's a lot of unfoldment there and a lot of energy that comes with healing. And you are diving into trauma, and I saw that you hold space for trauma. And I think we need to bring that light to the collective, to community, that it is aggressive. There are moments where it can be heartbreaking, and really looking at within oneself through the heartache, and visiting that part of the aspect of your story of what you've witnessed or what you've experienced, and how you find the peace that you were needing in that moment of that
Mm,
heartache, right? And
mm,
so when we dive into peace, there's that transformation, there's that brutal, deep, oh my God, what is happening here, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Um, so there's some misconceptions, we'll say, going into healing. And so I'm grateful you used the word aggressive. I'm grateful that you said that because when we're dealing with the mind and we're dealing with ourselves as physical beings, it's critical that we take time to take care of the physical and the mind and the body, spirit, as you say. What do you do when you hold space to help someone take a step into that aggressive mode and
Mm.
into pause and stillness? What do you do, Drew?
I've always felt that what I've learned is vulnerability builds trust. And today I was leading a workshop and it was beautiful in a way. It was about acceptance. It was about, I spoke on peace actually. And I just show up my authentic self. I tell my colleague that the workshop's going to be what it is, the space is going to be what it needs to be. We're just creating, holding the space. We're just holding the capsule for
Yeah.
people to do the work. They show up, we are just making a place of intention and sitting in a circle around the fire, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
So I think perhaps I share my story in a way that I've been on this path, not, and this is what I've learned, and this is what my offering is to everyone, not in a way of someone that has it all figured out.
Right.
So, and I did get a little emotional in the workshop today, and that's okay. And I talk about it,
Yeah.
and that's the whole intention about sitting in a circle and creating these spaces to be witnessed. That's part of my healing. That's how I started healing. So just creating that capsule and showing up authentically, and because I care and because I know what it means to go through certain experiences.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you talk about the vulnerability and holding the container and having someone be responsible for their journey, that's a true leader
Mm-hmm.
because it's them doing the work
Mm-hmm.
and you holding that fire, that light, that container for them to be also too vulnerable, just as you were to share your story. When you speak of offering that fire as it burns,
Mm-hmm.
how does your body feel when you're in that presence of the spirit and the energies for
Mm.
you?
Debbie, there's a feeling. I have a smile on my face because it's a feeling. It gives me life. It gives me. I There's a certain point when I'm speaking today. I'm just thinking about today. There is a intention from the folks that are sitting in a circle with me that I feel it when I'm sharing and speaking about what I've learned in this offering. I feel alive. I feel this is where I'm supposed to be and what I'm supposed to be doing. I feel that not only this type of work has gotten me out of the darkest places, but it's also bringing me into the lightest places.
Yeah. The balance is
It's a
beauty.
balance.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a lot of beauty in that when you say that. When you have your brothers and your sisters and they come and those who served, there's such a gentleness that has to come with that,
Mm-hmm.
you know. It has
Gentleness. Mm-hmm.
and I say this, it's the step to take to go into intake or the step to take to say yes to the program or to say
Mm-hmm.
yes to I saw you did yoga or you were out in in the jungle in
Mm-hmm.
Colombia
Yeah.
and you're holding space for medicine and you're holding
Mm-hmm.
space for offerings and the trust that
Mm-hmm.
they're saying, you know what, Drew, I trust you, I believe you.
Mm-hmm. That's a lot. It's a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When what force do you feel that moves through you when that person says yes? Like what is it that you feel when you're reaching out to the person? What energy do you feel and what they feel when they're coming to you to say, yes, I'm ready?
It's a emotion or energy of gratitude first and foremost, because the work, it's so difficult for all of us to arrive at that point for us to do the work. And I know what that moment's like. And it's
Yeah.
scary, it's fearful, it's doubtful, it's hopeless. I feel gratitude
Yeah.
when people are willing to share in these spaces, willing to acknowledge something that's said, maybe even something I'm not, it wasn't said by me, but recognizing our stories in each other.
Yeah.
A colleague mentioned that today, like we have in the workshop, it's our first time seeing, she, we're just recognizing that how much we have in common and we don't believe we do. It's you know, that energy of gratitude is, it gives me peace,
Yeah.
actually. Yeah, it gives me peace, willing that acceptance of that time and people are ready to do the work.
Yeah. You talk about sharing your story and listening to stories of others and journaling and being a poet as you flow in your channel. And I love poetry, by the way.
Okay, nice,
I
beautiful.
do. I do. I do. I feel like it's a form for me of release and healing. My
Mm,
words when I'm writing them down and I can feel the energy moving and it's the talk, right? When you're in the circle, it's the communication. There's so much power in sharing the story and listening to the stories of others. It moves, it creates movement. And so when you speak of gratitude, um, that shows me where your heart space is.
mm, mm,
So those that are currently, those that are still wanting to reach out but don't know how, and I say this gently because you said we all have stories very similar.
mhm.
So it's a matter of just speaking on it. What would you say to someone who can't use their words yet?
Someone who can't use the words yet, I was shared this by a friend a long time ago, and he told me that if you're not willing to tell your story, someone else will, and they won't do as good as job as you will.
Mm.
Meaning that if you're not ready to use your words, you can act towards alignment of what healing looks like to you. Sometimes you don't need to know how you're going to tend to your wounds, tend to your garden. You just need to know the first step towards that. And that might be a process of something that could be physical fitness, it could be yoga, it could be a walk, it could be a moment where you just breathe, take a deep breath.
Yeah.
And I think I've needed that in the past. Just take a deep breath. I think you could start there if you're not
Yeah.
really ready to use your words yet.
Our life force of breath, right? That's interesting
Hmm.
how if anyone knows trauma or PTSD has ever gone through something where PTSD is involved, we hold our breath. We're in that mode of like, okay, what are we doing? Like we're in the hustle of it until it's over, then we breathe. So it's how do you teach someone to breathe in the moment of that chaos?
Mm,
That's oof.
yeah,
Like,
yeah. Sometimes you need to scream out of rage first, maybe, and
yeah.
then you end up in the breath, maybe.
So I think that's great. So I had a great mentor and he used to say, get it out
Hmm.
through a yell, If you got to say some few words that you would normally not say out loud, who cares? Just do it, get it out. So it's really using the voice. So I feel like with the breath and communicating
Mm-hmm.
and the voice, I feel like there's a lot of unfoldment in baby steps.
Mm. Mm. I love
I
that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because healing looks so different for so many different people. And I don't know if I lost you, Drew, but I hope I didn't lose you. Oh, there you are. Okay.
Mm-mm.
And when I say that, people want it to look a certain way, like, oh my gosh, we're
Mm-mm.
gonna go do yoga and ay,
Mm-mm.
qué lindo, I
It's
got my
sloppy.
matching. Yeah,
No.
it's so messy.
No.
Oh my God. I'm cry ugly and and when you're in there, you're depending on the trauma of one experiences, you got hurt, you got anger, you got frustration, you got like, leave me alone, and so no me toques, like, like
The
what is
path, yeah,
right?
the path to healing is como bien feo, como it's nasty.
Yes.
It's all kinds of it's not pretty and it's not linear.
Yes. So it's
It's
not
not yoga on the beach all the time with sunsets. It's screaming, it's in rage. It's still having those episodes, but coming back. I think the sign is it time from it takes you to come back to yourself after you can see the progress after 6 months ago. It would take me this long to get back to stillness
mm,
after, it's not easy.
right. How did you do that, Mijo? How did you go from, having to change that strong exterior disciplined work into I'm ready to find peace? How did that feel? Like, what did you do?
That process was it was an ends of a means of me experiencing all the emotions till getting on the microphone the first time.
Mm,
It was a all or nothing type of emotion energy. It's like I have to do it. I have no choice. I
mhm,
have to I have to get in front of a microphone and share all my demons and my nightmares and what I've been through, and this is what I have to do. There's no option. It got to the point where that's how bad it was. So, and since then, it became a muscle I built, and I don't have an issue being vulnerable in front of people or being 100% authentically myself. And crying in front of people isn't an issue for me. If I have an emotion, I can pretty much shed a tear with my head held high in front of anyone. It's okay.
mhm.
I, I've I think it's been that way because I know the power of what it is and what it can be for other.
It's really rough, but also beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
And I think you saying that coming out of being vulnerable, that word is very strong today, vulnerable.
Mm-hmm.
There's
Mm-hmm.
there's there's a theme here of being vulnerable to be seen, to be heard, to express. And so there's movement in that again. So that's a reminder of anyone, not only those who have served, but anyone who's willing to take a pause to look at the opportunity or choice to change
Mm-hmm.
into transformation. There's pillars that we work through, and I feel like you have pillars. The feeling that they give me here, um, and I say this: there's steps, right? There's different steps that we take, and you use the word from dark into light,
Mm.
and the duality. It's okay to have duality, right?
Absolutely.
It's okay to have experienced this and bring the light and merge it. And I feel like you're merged. You merged, right?
Mm.
What story or what inspiration, Drew, would you like the people when we pause today for your fellow brothers and your sisters in honor of Memorial Day? What would you like to share with them today?
That you were seen, you were understood, to know that it's okay what happened to you. It's okay what you've seen, what you felt. It's okay that you're not alone, that with time and aggressive action, it will be okay. Things will align for you, things will get better, that you will find strength in the actions, that you fight against the memories, the feelings inside you and your heart, your soul, your body, that you were understood and that you're not alone, and you heal with others, and that community is everything in your path to the other side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Beautiful words. As I pause with that, and I want to say thank you to those who, you know, protect us from the things that we do not see
Mm,
that have happened around the world for you and your team. We thank you. And the families, the the partners, the wives, the husbands, the children, we thank you
mm,
because they lend you to us. They sacrifice their time away so you can take care of what we don't know about.
mm.
And some things are seen. And those memories that you speak of, you're changing them. And by you doing your work on TikTok and doing your work as a collective, I saw it. So I want you to know from Florida to California, you're hitting the people. And Drew, I want to say thank you for being vulnerable,
Mm,
for taking a step to open the container to help people who are willing to step in, who are ready or feel ready to step
mm.
into that journey with you.
I appreciate that. I truly appreciate your willingness and your witnessing of me,
Mm-hmm.
because it is still a journey.
Yeah.
Perhaps folks think it I share because I haven't figured out, but I still have my days. So
Ooh, and that's my dog saying, nope, we don't know it. We don't know
they
what's
would,
validating for you. The animals are very, very intuitive.
yeah,
And
absolutely.
that is the fire that we
Hmm.
work with to say, we don't have it figured out. We
Hmm.
can sit here, we can smile,
Hmm.
it's still at the same time still hurt and
Yeah.
still process the memories and still feel good and
Hmm.
come back into balance. And so it's a dance, but
It's a dance. It's a beautiful dance, and
yes,
I like the times that I wobble, or I miss the step or the beat. I've learned to embrace those moments just because I've arrived here.
yeah.
So.
I think when you say you arrive here, right?
Hmm.
I'm grateful you have some peace.
Hmm.
And I'm grateful that you have a team that has held you
Hmm.
and they have someone like you out there holding space for them. I want to say to those who have served or the family members who have served, and if you're listening to this, as Drew said, you're not alone. And the family members, you're not alone either. The family members or the children or the wives or the husbands, there are programs for them too. Mission 22 offers many programs within not only physical rehab, but also they help those that are with families. And if you are needing that extra support, their service is there. Don't be afraid to ask. You know, I say, take the leap of faith on you. You deserve it. And know it's easy for us to say it. And I know for one person who's going through it, it's okay. You know, even if you didn't do it today, maybe tomorrow, and just a little closer to that moment to pick up the phone. But if we can plant the seed today, Drew, what do you think? I bet how many
Absolutely.
seeds? Like the Pete the dragon. You're gonna give you the seeds, and you could
Yeah.
just throw them out to the universe.
That's it. And we just water them as we go. And
Yes.
we plant it now and we tend to our garden and eventually we start to see
Yeah.
we don't react the same ways and we feel a little bit lighter.
Yeah.
And yeah, we're tending to our garden and that's beautifully said that reach out and the families, the partners, the children. It's so important in the healing process for military veterans, and I firmly believe it is. Healing is a collective, and it's so important to the family to understand that they are part of the support. They are part of the honor.
Yes, absolutely. My
Mhm.
father served in Vietnam, and I listened to him to these days. And as a daughter, I
Mhm.
hold on to it and I honor it. There were those moments of words that he shares every now and then, and I let it move through me and I
Mhm.
breathe through it for him. And so, you know, I can say as a daughter to one who served, I know that there is more than what's being shared. And
Mhm.
so, thank you for saying that for the children. And Drew, where can people find you?
You can find me TikTok, Instagram, Drew's Voice, Drew Lucas on Instagram, DRUU_Lucas. You can find me at Daylight Wellness on Substack. It's a newsletter, some information, some writing prompts to get you feeling a certain way and to do some reflection if you need a voice, or on my email, daylightwellnessco@gmail.com.
Perfect. And for the collective, final words, Drew.
Thank you for receiving me and this space and for recognizing and witnessing not just me, but everyone that has been able to be a part of what you're doing in this space, in this platform. Gratitude and thank you.
Gratitude for you saying yes to be a guest here today and sharing a little bit of insight of your story and how you hold space. And again, you guys, Drew Lucas, find him on TikTok. And we pause in honor of Memorial Day and mental health awareness as well. So, you guys, you matter. We have a lot of love for you. And Drew, until next time, we'll see you out there growing in massive numbers as those seeds grow. So, you guys, until next time, take care. And I say, God
Thank you.
bless.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you.